Hello, 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 Lions fans. Welcome back. The 2018 season is upon us. My name is Adam Williams, the Assistant Sports Information Director here at Mars Hill University. Who is ready for some Lions athletics? I know I am. Today's podcast, the first of our second season. First season was a limited edition. The second season, we promise to have a lot more episodes for you. This first episode is a double dose, something I'm very proud of, and something that I think is going to translate pretty well to this new way that Mars Hill wants to help promote the sports and all of our programs here. So today's episode features the head men's and women's soccer coach, Gregg Munn and Jamey Newsome, respectively. We talk a lot. It's about a 20-minute conversation, but we talk about a lot of good stuff. We talk their, thoughts on the previous season. Coach Munn, this is his first year as a head coach here at Mars Hill, but both he and Coach Newsome share some Mars Hill history. So we delve into that a bit, and we talk about what they're most looking forward to this season and really what their thoughts are and their goals, pardon the pun, for this year. So without any further ado, let's get to our conversation with the head men's and women's soccer coach, Gregg Munn and Jamey Newsome. Today we have a double dose on the Mars Hill Lions Den podcast. We are here with the men's and women's head soccer coaches, Gregg Munn and Jamey Newsome. Guys, how are you doing today?
Fantastic. Doing all right. Can't complain.
Good deal. So as summer's dwindling down, you guys have any good stories from the summer? How's it been? You guys excited to get back into the action here?
For me, way too busy. Way too busy. Would love a little more time for vacation, but it's been an exciting summer. It's been working towards preparation for the fall. So definitely ready to get going. Can't wait.
Yeah, I would agree with Jamey. Been out a little bit of recruiting, trying to get Mars Hill out there in different parts of the state, and also trying to do a lot of work behind the scenes to make sure that we're prepared as we head into pre-season and make sure the guys are going to kind of get after it as soon as we get started.
And talking about pre-season, obviously some new players coming in. How has the recruiting process gone for both of you guys? Did you guys get the players that you were looking for, and how do you feel about the class that's coming in?
I feel pretty good. I'm happy with it. I'm excited. I feel like we addressed some needs for our team. We found some players that I think I hope are going to come in and be impact players right away. You never know until they actually get here in person, but hopefully the process is working. And it's always fun to get some fresh blood in here, some excitement. This is my first recruiting class, so I'm definitely excited about that and get some of the players that I feel like are going to fit the message that I'm trying to provide. But no, I'm excited. I think it's going to be a good year.
Yeah, I would say the same thing. Definitely excited. Joining the program in March, I didn't have too much time to get a number of recruits, but I got the guys I think I needed in certain positions. And fortunately enough for us, we have a lot of returning players. Going to have 5 on-field seniors, so that definitely is going to help us from a maturity standpoint, and those returners can kind of set the tone early for the new guys and for the younger guys that are still on the roster. So we're just looking to get into pre-season with almost a fresh start, so to speak. But excited about the new guys coming in. Actually got a couple of guys from different countries we've not had before, which is exciting, so we're going to see some new nationalities out on the soccer field this fall, and obviously we've got a lot of internationals returning as well, so exciting.
And Coach Newsome, you talk about this is your first recruiting class. Gregg, this is your first year at the helm of Mars Hill, but both of you guys, Mars Hill has been, quite a staple throughout your lives. So you both are graduates of Mars Hill, both with physical education degrees. Now you guys are at the helm of the men's and women's soccer programs. Can you talk about what makes Mars Hill special to you guys and what brought you back to the Hill?
It's ironic. I think Gregg and I have very similar paths at obviously different times, but one thing you may not know, that Gregg and I both met our wives here while we're in Mars Hill, so it's kind of strange that we both kind of had similar experiences, but I think due to that, my time here was a rewarding one. I mean, it was an exciting one. It means a lot to me, so the opportunity to come back is exciting. It's cool. I mean, I've enjoyed every moment. A lot of the same faces, a lot of new ones, but and it's because it is important to me. It's not just a job. I see it more as bigger than that. I'm very passionate about wanting to strive for excellence and really get this program where it's supposed to be on a consistent basis. I don't know. It keeps me motivated every day. I've enjoyed this place. It's been good to me.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't agree with Jamey more. It's a place where, I met my wife, and obviously I enjoyed a lot of success here as a player and also as a student. So obviously getting the opportunity to return to Mars Hill and lead the program forward as a head coach and kind of build off the success and the stamp that the previous coaches who I obviously played for and are still very good mentors of mine to try and keep leading the program in a good direction. We're very much aware that we're in a very competitive conference, so me and Jamey both having played here, we understand that. We understand the school and we take a lot of pride in the school and in the program, so getting that opportunity to return here as a head coach is definitely something I'm very much fortunate about, and I'm excited to lead us forward with a lot of energy, a lot of passion, and hopefully a lot of success.
And if you guys wouldn't mind, just talk a little bit about your playing days here at Mars Hill. What were some standout memories that you guys had?
Jamey's just being modest. Come on, Jamey.
That's a good question. I mean, a lot of my memories are just the time spent with my teammates. We had some pretty good teams. I just know that I'll never forget just going out to battle with those guys every day and kind of having that blue collar type attitude. We roll our sleeves up and get to work and fight for one another. And I just enjoyed having that opportunity. I felt privileged to be able to play collegiate soccer, and I think I was able to make lifelong relationships and friendships with my boys. That's kind of the culture that I try to create here as well with my women's team, and hopefully they leave here having the same kinds of experiences and want to come back and visit and give back and still remain a part of the program. But all in all, it was a positive one for me.
Yeah, I mean, I would jump on that one word that Jamey just used there, would be the culture. The experience both on and off the field I had here as a player, the memories I created, the friendship I created, are just unbelievable, So from a playing standpoint, we won the conference in 2012, and that was obviously unbelievable, and making two national appearances were up there as well, but I think going back to what Jamey says, the memories, the experiences you have with your teammates, going out to Barrow every single day, fighting for that guy next to you. I think the culture was extremely strong, and that showed both on and off the field. And obviously we've created a lot of good memories from that, and a lot of good friends that are still, for me, I know a lot of guys scattered all around the world because of the international base we have here. But those guys are going to be friends for the rest of my life, and they're all looking from afar, and some close, some from afar, as to how successful we can be this year, and they're definitely going to be supporting the team.
And I want to get back to that word culture, but maybe just in a little bit. I want to talk about last year's seasons for both programs. Coach Newsome, we'll start with you with the women's program. What are the biggest takeaways that you had at the end of this year, or at the end of last season, and leading into this year? What are some things that you have set as goals to accomplish for the 2018 season?
Our record probably didn't demonstrate this, but as a new coach, it's a process, and we're trying to address it as that process and how we're going about tackling that and taking one step at a time through that process. And even though our record wasn't glowing, I could see the progress that was happening within the team, from individuals to how we were playing as a team, how competitive we were in matches, and now. The next steps that we take is trying to take advantage of more opportunities that we have and see if we can't get a bit more on the winning side of things, which I know will come. But I was thrilled to death with the team's attitude and work ethic in the spring. We had a fantastic spring. I think the returning players are excited for what's next, and I was seeing a lot of work outside of what we were already doing that I wasn't asking them to do, and so as a coach you can't ask for anything better. So I think it's the little things like that are hopefully going to help push us in the right direction. And thrilled to death, I've already mentioned this, but thrilled to death with the new players that are coming in. I think they're going to be a nice addition, and we'll see what happens. It's always tough to lose the seniors. Those are the ones that are leading the team. Katie Dengelmeyer and Brianna Tate, Aliona Hunter, Ashley Martin, and then Juanita Guzman, who did graduate, but she still has a year of eligibility and is going to start her master's degree and stay with us. But 4 seniors. Thankfully, it's just 4. But still, 2 of those. Brianna was at one point an all-conference player. Aliona was honorable mention all-conference player. So, those will be tough to replace. And then Katie and Ashley were good leaders. They were the vocal people that I think helped keep us everyone accountable on the field and helped push us when they felt like it was time to step up. Those losses, sometimes you don't know how bad you miss them until they're gone. Hopefully now it's going to open up doors for new people to step into those roles. So I'm excited to see that. We'll miss those seniors, but hopefully with the new players and then the class that's returning, we'll have enough experience and new youth to be competitive.
And with those that are returning, are there certain players you're eyeing to see more maybe offensively engaged? And with that, what kind of style should the Mars Hill Lions fans be expecting to see this year? Kind of a continuation of last year, or are there subtle adjustments that you've
we're hoping. We're hoping to build on what we've finished. I mean, coming in as a new coach last year, I think part of the time was more an evaluation phase, just trying to get to know the girls and identify their strengths and weaknesses and figure out what kind of system is going to work best for our players. And I think once we figured out who we were and where our strengths lie, we really started to improve. And so we took that into the spring, and I think in the matches that we played in the spring, you could already see a level of confidence. The players really knew what their roles were and responsibilities, and so now that we've kind of established what that is, hopefully the returning players can be good coaches and good leaders to the new players coming in. And so now I'm hoping, I've got 15 returning players. With that experience that they've now gained, they can be 15 coaches on the field, which certainly helps me in my job, and having that experience. And so, that's what we're hoping to accomplish. And we'll see with the new talent if we stay with what we've been doing. Sometimes you never know, but I think we're in good shape.
I'm looking forward to it. First contest for the women's soccer team here at Mars Hill on August 21st, Tuesday, 7 p.m. start time. So make sure if you guys are interested in checking out the program, make sure you stop by. Coach, how are you feeling? Are you you getting antsy for it?
I'm antsy, yeah. I'm anxious. I keep texting back and forth with a lot of the girls, and I know they're all excited, and I hate the anticipation. I just want to get it going. So yeah, no, I'm ready. I could start tomorrow, but can't wait.
Say a little less than a month away. Coach Munn, just want to bring you into the conversation here. Hired in March, obviously after the 2017 season had ended. As you look back at that team and what they were able to accomplish, what are some positives and things that you want to take from Coach Hamill's team and either bring it into yours, and what are some new philosophies you plan on bringing?
So obviously, having played for Coach Hamill and knowing his style and knowing his philosophies, there's a lot of very, very good things that he introduced to the programme throughout the years he was there. So there's a lot that I want to build off of, and there's a few things that I'll like to put my stamp on the programme with, but from afar, watching games, keeping up with scores, tracking stats, all that kind of thing. I'm obviously very much aware of how competitive the team has been, especially last year. They had a pretty good record overall, and there was a few games where it was pretty tight. The margins at this level are very small. Some games go for you, some games go against you. And like I've already mentioned, we know just how competitive this conference is, and we've got full respect for the teams we'll come up against, but there's no reason that we can't, again, try and build on the successes of last year, and also try and bring in a little bit of fresh blood and some new opportunities for some of the guys as well. So for me it's a clean slate for the whole squad. So pre-season is going to be a very, very important time for us, for me to kind of put my stamp on how we want things done. How we're going to approach the season. And then just get everyone kind of singing from the same hymn sheet.
And kind of relating towards the women's program, one of the top offensive performers for the men's team, Steen Sanner, has graduated, moved on past Mars Hill, but returning is Jordan Lennon, who was also up there in terms of goal scoring. Who do you expect on the team from what you've seen to maybe fill in those shoes, or is it going to be offense by committee?
I would say it's definitely an exciting time for me, sitting down ahead of pre-season, and as we go into pre-season to actually start looking at our depth chart and looking at the guys that could play certain positions and the impact they could make in those positions. So, like you just mentioned, Jordan was struggling at times with some injuries last year, but he still performed very well. So I think that he could be a big performer for us if again we can keep him healthy. He has a lot to offer, not just from scoring goals, but creating chances and creating some havoc for teams as well. But this year we have returning Sebastian Bertelsen, and he'll be kind of leading the line for us at times. He was unfortunate to have injuries last year, so we're excited about him kind of getting back into the fold. And then there's guys as well that can really step up and bring some quality to that forward line. But building on that, our defensive line as well, we've got mostly all returners that are going to step in there, but we'll have a new goalkeeper kind of leading things from the back as well. So it's going to kind of depend on how quickly we can get all those guys to gel, but we're going to be organised. But from an attacking standpoint, we want to be exciting, we want to be dynamic, we want to try and score goals and create a lot of chances so that we can try and, like I say, win some games and hopefully have a competitive season.
And jumping back, we kind of took a pause here from culture, but we've been talking, the three of us, kind of off mic a little bit. But what are some things that you guys really want to bring to your programs this season to build that culture, to build that experience that whenever a team does come into Mars Hill, that it's going to be a difficult place to play?
Well, yeah, we certainly want to have an environment out on game day that's exciting for our student body and fans that come to watch. I think we want to put a product out there that everyone can be proud of, and we're realistic here. We know we're not going to win every game, but we want our fans and we want ourselves to know that we have that chance to win and every time we step on the field. And I think with the support everyone around us, from the administration to student body, families and parents and just fans. That certainly helps encourage our players to push hard and try to be as successful as we can be. But I can tell you this: the two teams that we have here work their tails off because they want to be successful, I'm hoping to create the model that I grew up with and played with, and I want my players to have that same attitude, and hopefully that translates into a lot of wins, but it certainly won't define who we are. I mean, we're gonna be proud, hopefully, of the effort that we give and the attitude that we give, and in turn, hopefully, that'll translate. We're excited with the process, though.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely build off of that. We've been speaking a little bit about that game day experience and creating that exciting environment, for both our teams to be playing in on come game day at the Hill. We want fans to get behind us, and we want to make it an overall great experience that can hopefully be that 12th man for us. And a lot of work's been going on behind the scenes throughout the summer from Jamey and myself to try and make sure that when we get into the season, we've put a lot of work in to try and create the best environment we can for our teams, and that's not just on game day, but that's also and practice and just behind the scenes. So we're excited. I think we've mentioned culture a few times, and something for us is that we know everyone's working hard out there, but there's different things that we can do behind the scenes to try and gain that little advantage wherever it might be. So one of our mantras this year is that everything's going to be earned. So we've got to earn everything, and that takes a lot of hard work, and that takes the guys buying in and being committed, and having each other's back. Each year within the South Atlantic Conference, it's not always the best team, the deepest roster or the strongest roster that get the results. Sometimes it's a little bit more than that. Do you have those good relationships where that strong culture is just going to show, and it's going to give us that little extra 5-10% that sometimes we might need. So a lot to look forward to, not only for the men's program but for the women's program as well. And like Jamey mentioned, both teams are working extremely hard, and both teams are excited about getting into pre-season and then really getting after it come August.
You guys have certainly earned my excitement for the seasons. I'm really ready, just kind of as anxious as you guys are, to get back into the field and to get these teams going. I want to thank you guys both for your time and doing the podcast. Really appreciate it. We'll have to do it again throughout the season if you guys are up to it.
My pleasure.
Absolutely, and be sure to follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram and Twitter, and stay up to date with all of what's going on within Mars Hill Athletics.
Thanks once again to Coach Munn and Coach Newsome for joining us on the debut edition of the 2018 Lions Den podcast. Really good conversation. Had a lot of fun with these guys, and really excited to see what these programs are going to bring this year. Getting back to what Coach Munn left off, though, to follow these teams and to follow Mars Hill Athletics, let's get into some social media plugs. For the men's soccer team, you can follow them on Twitter and Facebook at MHU Men's Soccer, and on Instagram at MHU Soccer. For Mars Hill women's soccer team, you can follow them on Facebook by searching Mars Hill University Women's Soccer, and on Instagram at MHU Women's Soccer. For everything Mars Hill Athletics, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at MHU Lions. We're also launching a YouTube channel this season, which long overdue, but excited to put some content up there. Mars Hill Athletics is the channel name, and as always, check into marshilllions.com daily for any news, game recaps, photos, videos, podcasts. We're going to overload the site with a lot of content this year. So those are where you can find the soccer program and anything Mars Hill Athletics. Thank you again for listening to this episode of the Lions Den podcast, and we will see you soon.